What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a world of secrets and hidden identities, where even a simple classroom setting can hide a deadly truth. A heavy silence fills the grand hall as a deep, uncertain thought echoes through the empty space. The truth remains hidden, leaving only a sense of profound doubt behind. But the eyes are now fixed on the shadows. A silent warning is issued. The most suspicious figures are being watched closely. The investigation was hitting a wall. Despite all the effort, no clear answers had been found, leaving the truth buried in shadows. A sudden question cut through the silence, challenging the current state of the investigation. The solution seemed obvious if the Academy's leader finally intervened. The breakthrough they desperately needed might finally arrive. Softly, a subtle, knowing chuckle escapes her lips, masking the deeper intentions swirling in her mind, even after 2 encounters with that captivating presence. The intrigue only continues to deepen. But beneath that charm lies a shadow that could threaten everything she knows. The realization hit like a physical blow. It was impossible to believe that such a powerful influence failed to move him. Logic dictated that a person of his supposed rank should have succumbed to the pressure immediately. But seeing him remain completely unfazed, even after facing that overwhelming force, changes everything we thought we knew about him. A chilling realization settles in the air. The truth is undeniable. He managed to resist a legendary power, using nothing but his own sheer will. As the weight of this feat sinks in, a single thought begins to take hold. This man is far from ordinary. A subtle smirk plays on her lips. To her, he has just become the most fascinating puzzle she's ever encountered. The recent train terror attack wasn't just a random act of violence. It was a calculated move by a shadowy group that has successfully infiltrated the heart of the Academy. With the enemy hiding in plain sight, there is no room for error. He knows that even the smallest, most trivial detail could be the key to uncovering the truth. But a terrifying thought begins to take hold. What if the entire attack was nothing more than a distraction? A mere blindfold to keep everyone from seeing the real threat approaching. The truth is finally surfacing, and it's more terrifying than anyone imagined. A sudden, violent ambush has left the battlefield in chaos. As blood stains the ground, a shocking revelation emerges. The person everyone thought they knew has been completely transformed in the heat of battle. Was this a calculated change, or a desperate survival instinct? The mystery of this transformation deepens with every drop of blood spilled. A piercing gaze meets a heavy silence as a sharp question is thrown into the air, demanding an answer that could change everything. The weight of the unknown hangs heavy, leaving only hesitation and doubt in its wake. But one realization strikes like lightning. The man standing before them is anything but ordinary. A sudden burst of laughter breaks the tension as the older man chuckles, seemingly unfazed by the weight of the situation. He offers a surprising compliment, praising the younger man's uncanny ability to read people and judge their true intentions. But beneath the praise, a flicker of doubt remains. Even with such sharp intuition, trusting the professor is a gamble that could change everything. The shadows are closing in. A single realization pierces through the silence, revealing a truth that cannot be ignored. The decision is made. To uncover the truth, the surveillance must continue. He can't let his target slip away just yet. A single word hung in the air, heavy with a promise that felt more like a threat. The silence was shattered by a sudden, piercing cry that echoed through the darkness. signaling a descent into chaos. As the man's face contorted in pure agony, it became clear that the nightmare had only just begun. The atmosphere in the room was heavy, thick with an unspoken tension that seemed to press against the very walls. He sat there, masking his irritation, but internally, he was fuming at the blatant disrespect of the situation. There was no escaping it. No matter how he tried to deflect, her true intention was clear. She was here for one thing only: to interrogate him. He brushes off the growing tension with a shrug, convinced that his tracks are clean and his secrets are safe. But as he scans the documents, the truth begins to surface. The faces of those he thought were allies are staring back, hiding a deeper conspiracy. A sudden realization hits him, like a physical blow. Everything he believed about this family is about to be shattered. The weight of a name can be heavy. The Lumos family is an incredibly influential ducal house, and their reach is felt everywhere. He tries to convince himself that there's no way her family would exert pressure due to that past incident. He's desperate to believe it, but deep down, a terrifying question lingers. Could she really take something like this so personally? With a subtle, knowing smirk, the professor reflects on his recent actions. He didn't just settle a dispute. He even granted an award point as a gesture of peace. As he surveys the academy, his observations confirm the rumors. Just as the principal warned, this place is teeming with incredibly gifted students. But the stakes are higher than anyone realizes. Among these newcomers, there's a presence backed by the full might of the magic tower, and even the protection of the Empire's own princess. A sudden moment of confusion strikes as a realization begins to dawn. The investigation deepens, focusing on a single, startling question that could change everything. Is this truly the individual wielding such uncommon and dangerous magic? The truth is hidden in plain sight. A flicker of recognition crosses his mind. Something about this young man's features feels hauntingly familiar, like a memory trying to claw its way to the surface. The silence in the room grows heavy as the realization lingers, unanswered and unsettling. Deciding to push the thought aside for now, he turns his attention back to the documents, unaware that the truth is already staring him in the face. Every detail matters when you're living a double life. Even a single misplaced word can expose the truth. He sits alone, clutching the evidence, knowing that one mistake could be his last. He simply cannot afford to lower his guard. The cold stares he's been receiving lately tell a clear story. The suspicion is growing, and trust is nowhere to be found. Now, a dangerous question haunts him. Should he continue this charade, or is it safer to fully embrace the shadows of the secret society? A single memory from the past begins to resurface, pulling a forgotten moment back into the light. He recalls a girl from a time long ago, a stranger who addressed him with a peculiar, specific title. But as the realization hits, a chilling thought takes hold. If she knew his face back then everything is about to change. The tension in the room was palpable. She looked at him, but something was different. Her eyes didn't question the sudden shift in his appearance. Instead, she accepted the transformation as if it were nothing at all. But beneath that calm exterior, a dangerous thought began to take root. If the man she knew was truly a master of disguise and infiltration, then this new face could be anyone's deception. A realization struck him like a bolt of lightning. Everything was unfolding exactly as he had calculated. As expected, the weight of his secret is becoming unbearable. He knows all too well the grim fate that awaits anyone caught in the crosshairs of the shadows. even after all his sacrifices and contributions to the organization. There is no guarantee of safety. Loyalty is a one-way street in this dangerous game. With a heavy sigh, he resolves to hide behind his new identity. For now, his only weapon is his role as a professor. But a sudden interruption threatens to shatter his composure. A sudden, sharp interruption shatters the silence, catching the professor completely off guard. A nervous messenger arrives, trembling as they present a document that carries much more weight than a simple delivery. The words hit like a physical blow. A patrol warrant. This changes everything for his undercover mission. The atmosphere grows heavy as a realization sets in. It's finally time. And the weight of responsibility falls squarely on the professor's shoulders. But as he looks closer, a hidden detail emerges. A specific clause buried deep within the contract is about to change the entire game. Unable to face the implications, he makes a hasty exit, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions and mounting tension. A patrol warrant. The mere sight of the document sends a chill through the air. He stares at the paper, his eyes narrowing as he tries to grasp the weight of this sudden scrutiny. Under the cold moonlight, he tries to convince himself that nothing much will happen. But deep down, he knows the danger is real. The training grounds of the prestigious academy were alive with focused energy as students prepared for the challenges ahead. Every movement was calculated, every strike precise. As the young trainees pushed their limits under the watchful eyes of the institution. But beneath the surface of this routine training, a hidden tension was beginning to simmer, threatening to disrupt the academy's peace. Gasps, a single word, a single moment of realization, and the entire atmosphere shifts into pure disbelief. The weight of the revelation is too much to process. She stands there, frozen, demanding the truth be repeated. Her eyes are wide with a mix of fear and defiance. She needs to hear it again, even if the truth destroys everything she thought she knew. The tension in the room is palpable as a firm voice cuts through the silence, declaring that there is absolutely no reason to retreat. With a gaze fixed and unyielding, the stance remains steady, refusing to back down from the confrontation. But the argument intensifies when a challenge is thrown back. If the presence here is so unsettling, why not let others be the ones to walk away? The atmosphere in the academy grows heavy as a sudden confrontation catches everyone off guard. A sharp question pierces the silence, challenging the very foundation of the person standing before them. But the response is even more insulting, dripping with pure disdain for anyone deemed a mere commoner. The tension is reaching a breaking point. The atmosphere in the academy was thick with tension as a sharp declaration cut through the air, reminding everyone of the ideals that were supposed to define this institution. A student stood firm, challenging the very foundation of social hierarchy, insisting that status and bloodline should hold no weight in their pursuit of knowledge. But a cold, mocking smirk revealed a much darker reality. To the elite, these noble ideals were nothing more than a lie used to keep the commoners blindly happy, setting the stage for a massive clash of ideologies. The tension in the room is palpable as the group's arrogance reaches a breaking point, with voices loudly claiming that the lower ranks are attempting to rise above their station. A dismissive laugh rings out, attempting to drown out the growing unrest. But the underlying conflict is far from resolved. The realization hits hard. No matter what is said, these people have absolutely no intention of listening to the truth. The confrontation is only just beginning. The tension in the room reaches a breaking point as a harsh command echoes through the hall, demanding total submission. With a look of pure disdain, the noblewoman stands tall, asserting her dominance over those she deems beneath her. But as the commoner prepares to depart, a sudden departure leaves the fate of this confrontation hanging in the balance. The tension is rising! A cold, mocking laugh echoes through the hall as a high-ranking noble looks down on her defiance, dismissing her resistance as nothing more than useless stubbornness. But the insult cuts deep. The sheer audacity of a commoner ignoring such authority sends a wave of fury through the room, setting the stage for a massive confrontation. As a hand tightens around a wooden staff, the atmosphere turns lethal. The power dynamic is shifting, and the consequences of this silent defiance are about to be felt by everyone. The tension in the room reaches a breaking point as a sudden outburst of fury shatters the silence. With eyes burning with rage, she confronts the intruder, her voice trembling with pure indignation. A surge of overwhelming power erupts, signaling that there is no turning back from this confrontation. A sudden surge of magical energy tears through the air, leaving nothing but a trail of glowing light in its wake. The sudden appearance of a high-ranking figure catches everyone completely off guard, leaving the onlookers in a state of pure disbelief. As the name is shouted in terror, the realization sets in. A powerful presence has arrived, and the situation is about to spiral out of control. A sudden, violent surge of energy erupts, catching everyone off guard as a powerful force tears through the air. The sheer magnitude of the impact is unmistakable, leaving a trail of shimmering light in its wake. The young student's eyes widen in pure terror, realizing that the danger they once thought was far away is now right in front of them. A sudden, piercing scream shatters the silence, catching everyone completely off guard. A blinding flash of light erupts, obscuring everything in its path and leaving the room in total disarray. As the light fades, the aftermath reveals a situation far more dangerous than anyone could have imagined. What could have caused such a violent outburst? A sudden, violent burst of energy shatters the silence, leaving nothing but a blinding flash in its wake. The air grows heavy with uncertainty as the dust begins to settle, revealing a sudden, unexplained disturbance. The students freeze, their eyes wide with shock. Someone has breached their sanctuary, and the question on everyone's mind is simple. Who could possibly be bold enough to interrupt them like this? A sudden, sharp voice cuts through the silence, catching our protagonist completely off guard. A blonde instructor approaches with visible irritation, criticizing the reckless way the training is being handled in a facility meant for precision and skill. But the response is cold and blunt, dismissing the very idea that what's happening is even a real battle. The atmosphere in the hallway shifted instantly. A young student stands frozen, her eyes wide with a sudden, chilling realization. Chaos begins to ripple through the academy. No one could have predicted that such a massive crisis would erupt right at the very start of the semester. As the truth unfolds, a mysterious figure watches from the shadows, observing the growing panic. The stakes have never been higher, and the academy will never be the same. A single thought flashed through the mind of the observer, realizing how absurd the situation truly appeared. The sudden mention of the professor's name sent a wave of disbelief through the room, freezing everyone in their tracks. As the silence stretched, the weight of this revelation began to settle, leaving only heavy, unanswered questions. The atmosphere was heavy with anticipation. He had initially planned to wrap things up with just a simple warning, thinking the confrontation would be nothing more than a minor skirmish. But as the reality of the situation set in, his calculations were shattered. No matter how he analyzed the movement, it was clear this wasn't a fight. It was a brutal, one-sided onslaught. The tension in the courtyard is palpable as a desperate plea cuts through the silence, demanding answers for the sudden, inexplicable actions unfolding before them. But the response is chillingly calm. A single, cold justification is thrown back. This is nothing more than a necessary move to uphold the prestige of the nobility. The professor stands tall, his presence commanding the room as he delivers a powerful declaration that shakes the very foundation of the Academy's hierarchy. With a gaze that pierces through any pretension, he makes it clear in this institution, status means nothing compared to true merit. But as the weight of his words sinks in, a young student realizes that the old rules of nobility are being torn apart, leaving everyone questioning what truly matters. The situation has reached a breaking point. There's no more room for hesitation or playing it safe. A sudden, sharp command cuts through the air, leaving no choice but to move right now. But as the pressure mounts, the weight of the situation begins to take its toll on everyone involved. The realization hits like a physical blow, leaving the young man completely speechless. The truth is far more insulting than he could have ever imagined. To be dismissed as nothing more than a mere fallen noble, it's a label that carries a heavy, bitter weight. A shadow looms over the Academy, hiding a secret that could shatter everything we know. The realization hits like a physical blow, leaving no room for doubt. As the truth begins to surface, a single name is whispered in terror. What happens next will change the Academy forever. The atmosphere in the hall grew heavy as a sudden, unexpected presence made everyone freeze in their tracks. A visible wave of nervousness washed over the young student, her heart racing as she struggled to maintain her composure under the intense pressure. But behind the calm exterior, a hidden truth was lurking, waiting for the perfect moment to be revealed. The air suddenly turned cold as a single, unbelievable statement hung in the silence. Eyes narrowed in disbelief. The man could only stare, unable to process the words he had just heard. A heavy tension gripped the room. The truth was surfacing, and there was no turning back from this confrontation. The truth is finally coming to light, and the journey is only getting started. A simple student was nothing more than a cover. But now, the real power is beginning to stir. But as the shadows grow longer, a new preview awaits. What secrets will be revealed next? Before we dive into the next intense moment, we have an exciting announcement. Our team is growing, and we're looking for talented Korean translators and proofreaders to join our community. If you want to be part of the journey, check out our Discord for all the details.